Hello, I'm Stephen Reed, partner at Spaciousness Works, and I'm excited to share with you today the Appreciative Leadership Lotus Model. This published piece of work was created by our founder, Tanya Cruz-Teller, and in this video, Tanya will be explaining her piece of work, her theory, to participants in an online course that we offer. This particular course has been completed by participants from over 50 countries around the world. And Tanya will delve into it and explain the Appreciative Leadership Lotus Model. Over and above that explanation that excites me and that we get to use this theory around the world is that it is also being studied at universities, and we will, I'm sure in due course, be having conversations with students who have got their PhDs in researching and assessing the results of this leadership framework that Tanya has created. And there are other candidates who are still currently busy with their research, and I hope we get a chance to have conversations with them too. Anyway, over to you, Tanya.
And the way that we come to this work as practitioners is, as you all know yourselves, everybody needs to have a theory of change. So we want to start by saying that, okay, so where we start is we know we have conflicts, problems, and complexity. And our theory of change is that if we want to get to innovation, inclusion, and inspired action, we actually have to create what we call spaciousness, or the space where inclusion, innovation, inspired action is not just the outcome, but it's the process. It's the experience. It's how we are with each other. And so that's why we say spaciousness is being in our strengths together. It's both the process as well as what we hope to have. It's how we speak, why we say the conversation is the action. So how do we do that? We have named it in our Appreciative Leadership Lotus Model. So the lotus is our generative metaphor. So let's say a little bit about the lotus when we did our research of like, oh, okay, so what are the principles in our work? So the first, which was really amazing, a lotus can only grow out of the mud. Right? So our relationship to a muddy birthplace, to this muddy moment, to the complexity, some of the challenges is incredibly important. So if we can see this moment, some of the discomfort, some of the challenges as the only place in which we can bloom from and emerge from, and that we can find some nutrients, some resilience, some strengths in there that help us bloom, it shifts our relationship to this moment and what we can then create or innovate with or create possibilities. Also, a lotus is amazing. Its seed can wait 250 years in order for it to bloom. It has exactly what it needs in order to become that big lotus flower. What we like to say is that the seed reminds us of the wisdom is in each one of us. So we have what we need in order to blossom. And as this group that we're gathered, we inherently trust that we have the wisdom between us to be able to create the solutions and the full thriving, and that's the flower. And the last thing about the lotus flower, it's pretty cool, is that its petals emerge one at a time. And the reminder there is how important it is in this work to really be comfortable and to value emergence. So you don't always have to know what the next 10 steps are. You need to know what the next right action is in the moment. And a lot of times we learn, right, that we can do better, and then we do better, as Maya Angelou liked to say. And that's part of emergence, and that's critical in this process. And so we talk about it as a 4-part process. Of course, it's not iterative, but you'll see, and we'll remind you, and we'll invite you to notice always a chance to ask yourself, renew. What are the opportunities in the way to renew my relationship to myself so that I'm coming from not a little me, big you, or a big me, little you? That's where we often see the power over. But if I'm in a renewed relationship with myself, I can better then relate and connect to other people. And if we're in both healthy and strength-based relationship to each other, we come up with the most incredible possibilities that have never been there before, because we're not trying to be power over each other. We're co-creating with each other. And when we co-create possibilities with each other, we resolve to take action. It doesn't have to come from a leader. It doesn't have to come from external. It comes from ourselves because we co-created that bold idea, that information, those innovations. And that's what's really vital and important in this work.
There we are. That was Tanya sharing the Appreciative Leadership Lotus Model. Short, concise piece. And if you'd like to learn more, not only about the model, but case studies where we've used this models to support leadership teams and organizations around the world, some more learning, some more information, and a lot more about what we do at Spaciousness Works, then like and subscribe. We have our Change Strength Index, which you can complete, a free assessment used by various organizations also around the world to be able to test and measure where they are as far as their leadership strength is and their organizational strength for change. So if you are involved in any part of change management in a complex system, hit like and subscribe. See you soon.